elementary school. Of our Spirit of Hollywood area of Tussauds, Hollywood. It's a Wonderful Life is an absolutely fantastic movie that we all know and love. It premiered in December 20th, 1946 at the Globe Theater in New York City. In 1990, it was deemed culturally, historically, and aesthetically significant by the United States Library of Congress. It was selected for preservation in the National Film Registry. We're extremely honored to have with us today one of the actors from this film. She was born in Hollywood. She's best known as Zuzu Bailey, George Bailey's daughter, who's played by Jimmy Stewart. All right, and to help us launch our holiday season here today and also our toy drive benefiting Merlin's Magic Wand, ladies and gentlemen, Karolyn.
This movie has become timeless. It's a part of the celebration of Christmas, and a lot of people watch it year-round. It gives you inspiration. It gives you hope. And from the deepest despair, you can find out that you have touched lives by watching this movie. It's so important for us to realize that we each have a part in the great scheme of things, and that each one of us can make a difference. This movie makes that possible. And I'm so glad to have this tribute to Mr. Stewart, because he was a rare man. He was a fabulous man, a family man, a war hero. He was a wonderful man. And I couldn't have picked a better person to play the part of George Bailey. I just want to say thank you very much for having me today. And remember, it is a wonderful life. And I really think that this is a moment of history, because this man was Hollywood, and it was a time when people were respected and loved, and I think this man will go down forever as a piece of film history, so I'm glad he's included in here.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree with you more.
It almost makes me teary, because, you know, that was a wonderful time in my life. I loved it. I had fun. He was kind, he was gentle, and I stayed with him through the years, because when people started looking for the Zuzu, they came to him. He found me. And so from about 1980 on, he would send people my direction. We'd do things together for different events. And he was just such a special person. He cared for his fellow man and cared for other people, his fans. He recognized the fact that they got him where he was, and he appreciated that. This was the first film he'd done after World War II. He was a bit of a changed man, so he was more serious, and he cared. It was a different Jimmy Stewart before he went to war.
Did you ever expect that Zuzu's pedals would become so important in the lexicon of the American language?
Not at all. No one did. No one did. But it is now.
Yeah.
It's got its own little cult following. Zuzu's pedals.
Well, it stands for that sense of family, and that all is right for all is right with the world.
You know, Jimmy Stewart played the part perfectly, and as George Bailey, his whole world collapsed around him. But Frank Capra made it possible to show that there was a special relationship between a father and his daughter, because he goes upstairs to that little girl who's sick in bed and shuts the door to the world. And it's just his love for his daughter that pours out. And that's such a touching moment. I think all fathers who have little girls can identify with that.
I can't imagine what your life is like. You must,
Well, it's
traveling from one
It's
It's a Wonderful Life event.
365 days a year, and I don't mind it a bit. I feel like it's kind of a mission. Think about this. There was Tommy, Janie, Petey, and Zuzu.
Yeah.
So everybody remembers the name Zuzu.
And where did the name Zuzu come from?
There was a product made in the early 1900s, and it was called Zuzu's Ginger Snaps. It was made by the National Biscuit Company. George runs up the stairs when he's so glad to be back and he's alive. Just loves the kids and carries on. And I come out my bedroom door and he says, Zuzu, Zuzu, my little ginger snap. That's where it came from.
What a great story. Well, it's a real pleasure meeting you, and I only hope that it's given you all the joy in your life that you never expected as a child, but it would
It's a
bring.
great balance for a rather strategically interesting life
Yeah.
that I've led.
Right.
It's a great balance.
Yeah, I would hope so.
No, it's all about my favorite scene, and that's where George is on the bridge, and he wants to come back to his mother. And he says, Clarence, I want to live again, I want to live again. And then he puts his face down in his hands and he says, please, God, I want to live again. And the minute he says God, it starts to snow, and he's back. And to me, he's discovered what really is important in life, and that's faith, family, and friends.
You have actually been in not just one classic Christmas
No.
movie, but two. You also were in The Bishop's Wife.
Yes.
And so you got to work with both Jimmy Stewart and Cary Grant
Both.
in two of the now classic
Yes.
Christmas movies.
The Bishop's Wife is growing in popularity every year. More people are discovering this movie. And it has a message, too, that not to concentrate on material things and ego, but to turn and look into yourself and find out that you love your family and you love your friends. It's the message that comes across in both movies. And and It's a Wonderful Life. It's also about material things. Same
difference,
difference.
yeah.
But it's just
Community versus.
presented differently.
Yeah.
But it's a good movie.
Now, there's a rumor that you have an ornament from the It's a Wonderful Life tree.
There is a rumor, yes.
Is that true, or?
Could be.
Well, if it were true, how did you get it? Was it given to you? Did you?
Well, now, how would you think I'd get it?
I would assume you just took it off the tree.
You got that right.
And you're kind of an ambassador for angels. Both the movies have to do with angels. In in Bishop's Wife, your character is also given an angel.
And in Rio Grande, I ring a bell throughout the whole movie with John Wayne.
So there's a whole.
Bells, angels, almost every movie I've been in.
You were the representative of the 40s
I guess so,
for
I don't know.
angels and bells.
It seems like that. Daddy, teacher says every time a bell rings, an angel gets his wings.
Bells, jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, the fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Hey! Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, the fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Hey!
It's a miracle. So I believe in miracles.